What's up, everybody? Luke here again. Another episode for you, Mr. FBA UK, but I guess you already know that already. So, let's get started. Now, this video is not going to be anything too glamorous or fancy or some magical fairy dust that you just need to take and sprinkle over your own Amazon business and boom. So, yes, it will be informative, but I mean, even I probably would think it's a little boring. But sometimes that is what you got to do to eke out all the little things that you need to do. You know, sometimes you don't want to do it, but you got to do it. That's how it is. So I apologise if it's a bit tedious or whatever, but let's just get into it, get it done. You can then get it done and move on. Okay. Now, this is my oldest. This product here at the top, Peppa Pig case thing. Now you can see the creation date here is that's ages away. Sorry, ages ago. Yeah, here. And the reason that's old is because I used to replenish the item. It was literally, you can probably get it from Argos still now. Argos, 2 for £15, and it used to be literally a 30% margin. But because you could keep buying it from Argos, churn out a handful a month, it was just literally an easy replenishable to get. 14,000 in toys. You know, this is one of those. If you've got a list of 100 items that you can just literally close your eyes, click button, send in, make 30%, it all adds up. And it's always good to have them on hand because, like I said, with that 10 ways to source products, there'll be times when you can't find enough products with your money, and you've got to then have that list that you can just go to, tick through some 30%ers, cover your expenses, cover your salary, cover whatever else you got going on in the month, move on to the next month. You know, January's awful. January I won't even sell toys, to be fair, but you know, there's certain months in the year that you just can't find the deals. So, what I'm going to go through today is all to do with preparing your account or your Seller Central or your inventory in preparation for Q4, so that not that you would get suspensions, but I was watching, obviously from a long time I've been watching Kevin Blackburn's videos. He's one of the first people I ever went to for YouTube and Amazon. Amazon no way. He had he exclusively talked about it for about, it's probably 2 years ago now. What month? Yeah, so 2 years ago I probably looked at his channel when he only had this very limited amount of subscribers and in the group, and I just went from there. And he touched briefly on some of these aspects the other day, which is great. Because obviously it's always good to watch other YouTubers doing a similar thing to then just keep up to date with what needs to be said, because sometimes you get so caught up in your own world that you forget the simple things. And so there's a couple of things I'll also expand on, just as I've sort of built on what he said, and we'll go from there. So he talked about starting off with making sure you have good health over Q4. Of course, you don't want to have any incidents that causes you to get suspended, have issues with shipments or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, even if it's just a couple of days. Like I've said, all these little things that I'm going through add up to something quite substantial in sort of value, but each thing by itself doesn't look important, but if you add them all up, they are. Very similar thing. You don't want to have this little thing here, 2 days here, 1 day here. Before you know it, you've lost 3 weeks over Q4. And 3 weeks in Q4 could be £4 grand in profit, 5 grand in profit, whatever it is. So what we're going to talk about is, I would say, cleaning up your inventory under manage inventory. So it's literally here. Normally you go in FBA, check what's going on and all that sort of thing, but it's the top one. This is literally just your products you've added, and it's in your database, so your account's database for products. So you can see here, I don't really mind if you can see what I've sold. You can search and see if you want to buy them. I don't know. A lot of these are old, and I don't actually replenish them anymore. I used to replenish them, but I sort of revamped my whole purchasing over as you progress and you get ungated and so on. You would find that you actually end up leaving behind some of the items that you were replenishing originally, because it's just not as good as the ones you're now finding. But you have to, your knowledge builds as you go. So to start, you can get ideas. I don't even know if they do Fairbs anymore, but you can just get some ideas. And some of these I'll probably buy from Disney Store. Not even worried about if you want to know. Like this item here, I know it's 159,000, but Christmas comes, you get 4 or 5 of them, 4 or 5 of the Jasmine, 4 or 5 of, I don't know, whatever else they have. And all good. And yeah, you can see I've even got some of these. No, but yeah, you can see most of them are saying no, but I have cleaned up my inventory already, so you won't see all the old stuff. But what you want to be careful of is what I then will do, because what happens is, I'll explain why I'm doing this. What happens is, over time, Amazon either change the product's location within Amazon's own network. For example, database. For example, it moves category, rank, subcategory. It moves it around. It merges listings if there's more than one, and it may even appear in a different place. Like I've had an item book in randomly as a completely different item when I sent it in, and now it's stranded because it's actually restricted. It's a hazmat. I can't withdraw it because it's hazmat, and I can't change it because I don't know what the item now is. So like I literally just sent something in, they've for some reason added it to a random listing, and now it's the photo wasn't even what the listing was. The photo was like of a mitt, and it was some sort of like beauty spray, and like they weren't the same thing, the picture on the actual listing. So you know, you have to be, you think yeah that's going to be there forever, but it doesn't. Things change. But you've got to be more wary about not toys and games, but like beauty and stuff like that, because with beauty as well, you get like the ingredients and stuff change, and Amazon changed their like restricted policy on what they accept as an ingredient, so they might not accept. Like I think you know, Kev Blackbird keeps going on with salicylic acid. He got banned for that, kind of it's a restricted product, but actually a lot of products have it in, and I've realised that wasn't why there was problems after analysing the thing. But there's things that are fine to sell at one point and they're not at another point. That's what I'm trying to get to, and it's across like everything, mainly beauty because it has chemicals, but it could be anything. It could even be something to do with some sort of battery. You know, like Amazon don't accept certain voltages, don't accept certain types of battery. It could be anything. So what you want to do is before Q4 starts, you want to clean up your inventory, because even if you have sold it or you think maybe I'll sell it again, you can always re-add the item at a later date. Because I always find adding it to an old listing, you know, when you can click that little, when you're adding FBA, click the add product, and it's really quick. But it's so old that the pricing's all out, and you don't want it booking in. What I found, the reason that sometimes people list items at like £5 or £10 cheaper than the cheapest FBA. So you know, when you suddenly see a person pop in at £12.99 here, yeah, and you're like, what? The buy box is $14.90. Why is that person not selling it at $13.99 or $14.89, but they're selling it at $12.99, like a couple of quid under? It's because as soon as it books in, it actually goes live at that price, which is the price that you obviously originally set, but now it's changed. So that's why I always, if an item's selling at £20, I'll probably send it in at 28 or 30 and adjust the price later. So whenever I add back that item, it doesn't populate the listing before you know, when you get a notification saying you're checking in, processing and fully complete or whatever it is when you get your FBA stuff on your emails, but you don't always know when it is. You come to it a couple of hours later and you've already made 5 sales because at the wrong price, because you haven't yet click your button to say go on your bid price. You haven't gone to your Amazon and set your min max or whatever you're doing, and it's just like you're cleaning out your account, yeah. So the best way to do it is literally just go boom, get the 200. Like, see, I only have 581 products and I had thousands. It took me ages. I'd say just do it. You just do it once, and then you only have to do it every so often. You just click however many you want. You just go down the list, go down, or you can click this little button here, select them all, and then unselect the ones you want to keep because maybe you've got some still in stock and all that sort of thing. Up to you, and then just go up to the top, click action on whatever, and then you want to click this. You don't want to just close the listing because it will still appear here as closed, I think it will say here. You want to delete products and listing, and the reason you want to, don't do anything. The reason you want to do that is then it disappears, it's gone. So what then occasionally happens with definitely beauty products is that the item in it becomes restricted, and you will get a notification saying Amazon have now changed their whatever's this and that. We have removed the product from Amazon, so you won't even be able to search the product, or it will be under hazmat. Or no, usually they'll delete the ASIN. You search the ASIN in Amazon, it doesn't exist. But your listing still is here. and it's all automated as far as I'm aware. And it'll say you have 48 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, it'll say 24 hours to remove the product. And when I mean remove the product, I literally mean this. You don't have to do it this way. You can go here and delete the product and listing. So whenever you get these emails, and they only come in emails, and I think they pop up on the top left on your little performance notifications, but mine doesn't even work properly. The ones that I get don't even appear there, so I wouldn't even rely on that, because you know how sort of glitchy the whole thing is. Just check your emails, and it will say, I haven't got an example because I don't get them often, but I've had about 2 or 3 in the last year or two, saying this product's now been, Amazon identified this product's got some weird stuff in it. Gonna have to delete it off the catalog. Cool. Please remove it within 24 hours, otherwise you may get a problem. Now I've heard people that don't remove it and they're fine, but I know people that have kept it on because they haven't seen the email and they've actually been suspended. And I have no idea. You know what Amazon's like. Okay for some, not okay for others. And all you want to do is prolong your account for as long as you can, by whatever means you can. Ultimately, the answer is yeah. So you literally go through and delete all the items that you no longer sell. And then when you come to add them back, if there's a problem, then you will know, but you haven't got the listing active. So if you miss an email, if you miss that email, it doesn't matter, I guess, as much, because you're cleaning out your inventory. And yes, like 1%, that item I've just listed didn't see the email, but you know what I'm trying to say, like, more items are probably inactive than active. So if you do the percentages, even if you've got 75% inactive over maybe a year's history on your account, you're basically like massively improving any potential odds that you will just get that unlucky. You know what I'm trying to get. So yeah, clear out. It is a bit annoying if you've got a lot. If you've got like 4,000 products and you've got to clear out all these inactives, and you can see how odd they are. You can just search by date and do it that way, and then you can click that, go 250, which is in the bottom right down over here somewhere, and just go ahead and delete it all and add it back later. And yes, it's a little bit longer, but it does. I actually think if you want to have your account for a long time, I'm talking years, these things are needed, because every so often something happens, and you might think it's not going to happen to me, but the longer you do it, the probability rises of everything happening to you. So it's just common sense that you would act beforehand. It's just like, you know, it's almost like it's going to happen, but do I want it to happen in 1 year or 10 years? And then if it happens in 10 years, well, at least I've got 9 years out of it, not just 1. So yeah, I know it's annoying. Just do it like that, and great. Now, on the flip side, I don't want to go into too much detail, and it's only been 13 minutes, onto like the nitty gritty. I'm just sort of saying what you should do and a rough reason why. Another thing is you go on to add products. Now, ignore all the other crap, but you want to see if you can get ungated in anything beforehand. And you might think, what do you mean by ungated? Well, if you type in a brand here, let's just type in something that's sort of gated. The problem is that nothing's gated for me, so it's very difficult to find a company that I can't sell. I can't sell alcohol. Oh Jesus, let's think of something cool. Even Rolex, I'm pretty sure I can sell. I'm just trying to think of a brand or something. Yeah, I mean, oh no, I can't. Okay, some. So I'm pretty sure I could sell watches. All right. So what is this for? You can actually sometimes see. Okay, it's the brand. So let's have a look. So I always say, just test, see what happens. You need approval. I don't know, let's click the button. Hello? Golden ticket? No golden ticket. Okay, it doesn't really matter, I don't really care. And just check, and you can see if you can get ungated perfectly. It's taking me to the perfect place. I will now show you all the brands. It's brands and bits and bobs. So brands and categories that I'm ungated in, just because I got ungated in a handful like a year ago, maybe more than a year and a half ago. And then over time, you can literally just auto ungate yourself. So yes, it will say you cannot sell that item when you add it, but then you can go and click the process. So you know where it says listing limitations, apply or something. Click it, and just basically follow what I've just done for the Rolex on whatever. And if it doesn't work, go to the next one. Now, say I've got 42 applications, but I'm not sure. So you can see the ones at the top that hadn't worked. So sometimes they change. So like they revamp. Music used to be okay, and then it wasn't and stuff. I don't even know. That was a test, I think. But let's go through. So we've got Diesel, Clinique. These are brands, subcategories, brands, ASIN, subcategories, so on. Rimmings. You can go through this yourself, and the best way to do it is to type in baby food or a brand relating to baby food, and so on and so on. So type the brand in, type the category in, and type a product in that category, and it will come up eventually as like you saw a minute ago. You need approval to get ungated in the brand, or it will tell you what the subcategory is. Samsung, Braun, Philips. And you'd be really surprised about how many categories, subcategories, sub of subcategories, and yeah, just I forget what I even got here, to be fair. But pretty much I've either done this and got approved, now I can sell the item, or over time I've been able to sell. So I can sell every Lego. I know people that even have the same age account as me and they can't sell certain Star Wars Lego. I can sell, I don't even check items basically if I can sell them. I sell all Lego, I can sell all toys. I've never ever come across a toy in the last year that I can't sell. I don't know if it's just my account or it's just some accounts or this or that, but it does seem to be a little random. But yeah, you can sort of see what I've got here. And I could probably go on, I just don't need to. So every item I buy now, I never check if I can sell it. The only time I will, I did it the other day, if it's hazmat, if I want to check it's hazmat, I think, or double check it's hazmat, I'll add it on my Seller Central or my app on my phone. It will just tell you straight away if it's hazmat. So yeah, that's another thing. So that's the opposite of managing account. Maybe you want to try to sell more, but you don't know how to go about it unless you fully get ungated, which is obviously wholesale invoices and all that. And yes, you can do that, but it's not as simple as what I'm trying to show you here. We're then going to flip that. Actually, we're not going to flip that. We're going to go here to here. So this is the selling guides, or whatever you want to call them. And they have lots of information about Amazon. Now you have to remember, this is actually for the US market. But I'd say it's like we're the younger brother, so it's not, we don't get it as bad, yeah? The parents aren't going to hammer us as bad because our older brother should know better. That's the best way I can say. So people have said, oh, but on this website it says this. I would take it with a pinch of salt. If it looks like a brand you can sell. So I think like Disney, you can't sell in America, and Lego, but here like you can sell whatever you want. And even a year ago, people were saying, oh, but how long until Lego and Disney we can't sell? It's now a year on, and nothing's happened. Like, and it's actually got easier probably in some areas. And yes, toys and games did have that weird restriction added on recently, but once you get past that, it's okay. So you can see here, you know, I can probably let's try to find one and see if I can get. That's actually a product I don't sell because I got a weird email from you can do like a reverse search to see who sells products online. I got it from a third party. I just thought I'm only selling a handful of items. Just delete the item. Basically delete it like I said, like I showed you in the very beginning. I just tried Beats by Dr. Dre. I got no idea if these things even really do much, but that's. Show variation. Guess I can sell it. What the hell's... Oh, I'm not going to go into it. But you get what I'm trying to say. So you can just go through here really and look for the ones that you think, oh yeah, that one, Black & Decker, oh yeah. Because until you see the brand sometimes, you don't really know that they are. Let's see if Disney's on here. I'm just curious, because people might get... Yeah, Disney. Yeah. At least they put mainly USA. And yeah, so you can just go through that and maybe try them out. You don't have to do them all. It's just another thing. And then another thing, flipping that you can get suspension. So talking about suspensions, obviously you don't want to get in Q4. And if you do get it in Q4 for whatever reason, because it happens, it's just how life is. You want to try to get ungated. Want to get that flipped so that you can as fast as possible. So you want to be able to sell again. Yeah. So what I'd say is you can go to getunsuspended.com. And I know a lot of people will already know this, it's fine, but there are probably some that also don't. And if you have Bookable VA, which is a sourcing sheet list, you get this for free. I think it's about £100 for a sourcing, £80 to £100 a month for a sourcing sheet. You get 10 of these a day. You get this for free. And I'll do a video. I'm going to do a video on like what I think the minimum and the medium and like minimum and maximum you need for Q4 for like the best sort of programs you want, free and paid. The best free and paid everything's basically put together, like almost like I was building an Amazon business for someone and then giving it to them and signing them all up for this, that and the other, and literally they're the only ones creating an account, but I'll sign them up for everything else and then give it to them in like a document. And I'm sure, like, I've heard the things going around people, that's like maybe another business model that people can start up. You basically get everything in place. They give you a budget, how much they want to spend a month. You get everything in place and you pass it over. But anyway, someone can take that off me. I know it's not really new, but yeah. And basically, yeah, it like Karen Summers, really good. I've known her for a while. And she can, well, there's a couple of options now, to be fair. She has like videos that you can go through to, you basically just follow the video. It's like a video tutorial how to reply. If you ever get a suspension, don't reply to it, okay? So you might think, crap, and you type in caps, please, with a Z, unsuspend me, happy smiley face. Now that's not going to do much, like, at all. So you've basically got to not reply, and wait, because if basically as soon as you reply, that counts as your appeal. I think you've got, and that's it or something. So you almost have one life. You don't have 3 lives like games. You know, you have a game 3 lives. You don't even have 2. You have 1. And it's only £20 a month plus VAT. Okay, so it's a bit more, and dollars, and you get it for free if you do the BVR. I'll put a little link for this. There is an immediate help one, but normally people just do the monthly one because it's not really anything. And it's just like another, it's not insurance as such, but it's another little layer that you can just add in and just build up as many layers as you can. And yeah, and it's, from what I've seen, like, she helps a lot of people get unsuspended by putting the right things in the emails. And yes, you can do it yourself if you want, but it's like taking that chance, or do you want to pay 20 quid and have like a 4 times more likely chance that, you know. And I'll put all the details once I get around to putting the description of this video in. Recently, I don't really put much descriptions, but I'm going to start putting a couple more links for random things, just because if I was watching it and I wanted to get onto things, there's no links, you know. And that's it, yeah. So it's just a couple of things to do with like preparing your account health and cleaning up your account on your managed infantry and all that sort of thing, so that you're ready. So that I know a lot of people probably haven't ever even thought about this, and I think, well, do I really need to? But it's, you know, it's like anything. You can always find more to do. It just depends how much you want to do it. You know, do you want to be a millionaire or do you want to be a billionaire? The people who are millionaires got 10 million, 20. Oh, I've got 10 million. Why do I need to get a billion? Well, you don't. But it just means that you might lose that 20 billion far easier than if you had a billion. I'm just trying to bring it into some perspective. Some people work full time and they don't want to, and it's not their main income, and it's like it might be their 10th income, you know, and they're happy to do less work, not worry about it, and get on with it, which is fine. Anyway, not going to waste your time anymore. Reasonably a bit boring, but hopefully a cool couple bits in there for not just sort of unsuspending or account health, but maybe how to actually be able to sell more with sort of the opposite of that, like getting ungated and stuff, and just using some of my examples on my ungatings to get ungate yourself. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy, and I'm going to be doing another video. I'll probably release it tomorrow, just because I don't want to release too many in a day. It's a bit confusing on BuyBot Pro. I've done a review on FBA multi-tool about 2 months ago, and BuyBot Pro, you know, I'm not gonna go into comparing them and all that sort of thing. I'm just gonna go into like what it So the pros and cons, prices, just review it normally, because anything relating to plugins or Amazon or helping or how it can be quicker, faster, easier, cheaper, more profit, I don't know, then like I'll look at it. So it's a little bit more complex than I originally thought. So I'm just trying to get as much information as I can on it before I'll actually bring a review. I don't want to do not mention half the things. So I'm going to be bringing that probably tomorrow. I am going away to Paris on Friday, so I won't be. Probably a couple of days where there'll be no video. So I'll bring it out at some point anyway, and go from there. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Won't chat anymore, won't waste your time, and I'll see you on the next video.